Welcome to Grandpa's Gentle Sleep Stories. If tonight your mind feels a little too busy, a little too awake, you're in the right place. You don't need to quiet your thoughts. You don't need to sort them out. These stories are here to sit beside you while your thinking slowly runs out of steam. So get comfortable. There's nothing to figure out as the story begins. You notice the light before anything else. It isn't bright. It doesn't try to impress you. It simply glows there in the window, steady and warm, like it has been doing all evening. You stand across the quiet street and look at it. For a while, the town around you feels slow tonight. Not empty, just unhurried. Some houses are already dark. Others hold a faint golden square behind curtains. But this one feels different. Maybe it's the way the curtain hangs slightly open. Maybe it's the way the lamp inside casts a soft circle against the wall. Or maybe it's just that you need a light like that tonight. You've been thinking a lot. Little things mostly. Things that don't matter much in the morning, but grow louder at night. Words you said, things you didn't say. Plans that sit unfinished. They circle around, don't they? Thoughts have a way of circling when the world grows quiet. But that light doesn't circle. It stays still. You take a slow breath. The air feels cool against your cheeks. Not cold, just cool enough to remind you that evening has fully arrived. Somewhere. In the distance, a screen door closes gently. Not a slam, just a soft wooden click. You listen to that too. There's something comforting about small sounds at night. They don't demand your attention. They simply exist. You start walking toward the house with the glowing window. No rush. Your shoes make the faintest sound against the pavement. Step, step. You don't have to think about where you're going. The light already knows. As you get closer, you see the shape of a chair inside. A wide, comfortable armchair. And in that chair sits an old man. He's about 70, maybe a little more. Soft white hair rests gently over his ears. He wears a warm cardigan, the kind that has known many winters. His face is calm. Kind eyes. The sort that don't hurry you. He doesn't look surprised to see you there. It's almost as if he's been expecting you. The lamp beside him glows in warm yellow light. Not harsh, not sharp, just steady. He shifts slightly in his chair, the fabric making a quiet sound, a familiar sound, like a house settling. You don't even knock. You simply find yourself inside, standing near the doorway. The room smells faintly of old books and something sweet, maybe tea from earlier, maybe just the memory of tea. The walls are lined with shelves. Nothing fancy, just ordinary shelves with ordinary things. A clock ticks somewhere. Slowly, patiently. The old man glances toward you, and there's the smallest smile. Not wide, not dramatic. Just enough to say, you're safe here. You move closer to the chair. The floorboards creak softly under your weight. They don't complain. They've done this for years. You notice how quiet your breathing has become. It was tight before, wasn't it? A little shallow. But now it feels easier. The lamp hums faintly. Or maybe that's just your imagination. Outside the window, the street is darker now. The world has pulled its blanket a little tighter. The old man rests his hands on the arms of the chair. His fingers are relaxed. He isn't here to solve anything for you. He isn't here to fix your thoughts. He simply sits, and somehow that feels enough. You look at the light again. It doesn't flicker. It doesn't rush. It just glows. Your thoughts are still there. Of course, they haven't disappeared, but they feel softer dot, less sharp around the edges. Like they've decided to sit down too dot. The clock continues its steady rhythm. Tick, tick. You don't need to count it. You just let it happen. The old man leans back slightly, cardigan folding gently at the elbows. His eyes carry that warm, knowing look. The kind that says nights like this have happened before. Many times dot, and each time they pass. You sit down in the chair across from him. The cushion gives a little under your weight. Comfortable. You hadn't realized how much you needed to sit. The room feels smaller now, but in a good way. Cozy. Contained. Outside, a breeze moves through the trees. You can't see the leaves, but you can hear their soft whisper. The light in the window remains steady. You realize something simple. Nothing is chasing you here. Not the day. Not tomorrow. Not unfinished thoughts. They can wait outside, like shoes. Left on the porch. Inside, there is only this quiet room. This warm lamp. This steady clock. And an old man who doesn't ask you to be anything other than tired. You feel your shoulders drop just a little more. It's subtle, but it matters. The night stretches gently around the house. The light in the window continues to glow for anyone who might be walking by, for anyone who can't quite quiet their mind. And as you sit there, listening to the clock and the faint whisper of the trees, you begin to notice another sound beneath it all. A steady, patient ticking that seems ready to carry you a little further into the quiet. The ticking was there before you noticed it. It didn't arrive. Suddenly. It didn't clear its throat or ask for attention. It simply continued. Tick, tick, tick. You sit in the soft chair, and the sound becomes clearer now. Not louder. Just closer. The old clock rests against the far wall, round and wooden, its face pale and calm beneath the warm lamplight. Its hands move in small, steady steps. You don't see them move. You just know they do. Tick, tick, tick. The old man shifts slightly in his chair. His cardigan sleeve brushes against the fabric. A quiet whisper of wool. His white hair glows softly under the lamp. Kind eyes. Patient eyes. He doesn't look at the eyes. Clock. He doesn't need to. He trusts it. You begin to notice your breathing again. It had been shallow earlier. Now it stretches, Little deeper. In. And out. The ticking fits neatly between each breath. Almost like it was made to. You don't have to follow it, but you can. If you want to. Tick, tick, your thoughts try to interrupt. They always do. A small worry taps at the door of your mind. A memory leans forward, asking to be reviewed. Something about tomorrow. Tries to form a list, but the clock does not argue. It does not debate. It simply continues. Tick, tick, tick. The sound feels older than your thoughts. Older than today? Older than whatever you're replaying. The old man folds his hands loosely in his lap. His face carries a mild, thoughtful expression. Not concerned. Just aware. As if he has listened to this clock for many evenings before. As if he knows its steady nature. You glance toward the window. The night outside looks thicker. Now. Darker. But not heavy. Just settled. Faint breeze presses lightly against the glass. You can almost hear it breathe. Inside, the clock remains unchanged. Tick, tick, tick. There is something kind about a Sound that doesn't expect anything from you. The clock doesn't need you to quiet your mind, Dot. It doesn't need you to solve your worries. Dot, it keeps time whether you are restless or calm. That feels important somehow. You shift slightly in your chair. The cushion sighs. Beneath you, Dot, comfortable, Dot, the old man's eyes soften a little more. He tilts his head, listening, Dot, not to you, not even to the clock, Dot, just to the room, Dot, rooms have their own sounds at night, Dot, wood cooling, Dot, air, moving gently, Dot, fabric, settling. The ticking weaves through all of it, Dot, asterisk, tick, Dot, tick, Dot, tick, Dot. You begin to notice that the space between ticks is steady, Dot, reliable, Dot, nothing jumps ahead, Dot, nothing lingers behind. Each second receives the same amount of space, Dot, no more, Dot, no less. Your thoughts don't work like that, Dot, they rush, Dot, they loop, they stretch, certain moments too long, but the clock does not stretch, Dot, it moves forward in small, equal steps. You don't have to keep up with it. You can simply let it pass beside you. Dot, tick, Dot, tick, Dot, tick, Dot, tick, Dot. Your shoulders feel heavier now, Dot, not in a burdensome way, Dot, just relax, Dot, as if they've decided there is nothing urgent to hold up anymore. The old man leans back slightly. His expression carries the faintest hint of a smile. He has seen many nights like this. Nights when the mind refuses to settle, at first, Dot, nights when thoughts march in uneven patterns. But he also knows something else. He knows that steady things often outlast restless ones. The clock continues, Dot, unaffected, Dot, patient, Dot, kind, in its own mechanical way, Dot, tick, Dot, tick, Dot, tick, Dot. You try matching your breathing to it again. Not perfectly, just loosely, Dot, in, tick, Dot, out. Tick, Dot, there is no test here, Dot, no right way to listen. You simply sit, and the clock simply keeps time. Outside, somewhere down the street, a car passes slowly, Dot, its tires hum against the pavement and fade. The sound dissolves into the night, but the clock remains, Dot, tick, Dot, tick, Dot, tick, Dot. The old man closes his eyes for a moment. Not asleep, Dot, just resting them, Dot, as if to show you that the room is safe enough. That, Dot, safe enough to pause. You feel the quiet stretching gently around you. Your thoughts are still there. Yes, but they seem to move slower now, Dot, as if the ticking has softened their edges, Dot, as if each second carries them a little further away. You don't need to quiet your mind all at once. You don't need to empty it. You can simply let the seconds pass. Through it, Dot, tick, Dot, tick, Dot, tick, Dot. The lamp beside the old man glows steadily. Its light rests warmly against the wall. Nothing flickers. Nothing shifts suddenly. Everything moves at the same calm pace. You notice how your eyelids feel slightly heavier, Dot, not forced, Dot, just natural, like the body recognizing a familiar rhythm, Dot. The clock does not change, Dot. It keeps its quiet promise, and as you continue to sit there, listening to its patient ticking, you begin to sense that maybe tomorrow doesn't need to be planned right now. Maybe it can wait for the next second, and before you even realize it, you are standing. The chair releases you gently. The room stays warm behind you. The clock's still ticking, but now the door opens with a soft wooden sigh. You step outside. The air feels cool again. Dot, asterisk, not sharp, Dot, just enough to wake your skin a little. Maple Street stretches ahead of you, Dot. It isn't long, Dot. It never has been. A simple row of houses, each with its own small porch and square windows glowing softly in the dark. The old man walks beside you. 70. Maybe more. Soft white hair resting neatly. Warm cardigan, buttoned loosely. His hands are tucked into his pockets. His face carries that same calm expression. Slightly thoughtful, slightly content. You don't speak. You don't need to. Your shoes touch the pavement in slow rhythm. Step, step. The sound is gentle. Even the sidewalk seems considerate tonight. A porch light flickers once and then steadies. Somewhere, wind brushes through the maple trees. Their branches move lightly above you. You can't see every leaf, but you know they're that. Maple Street always has leaves somewhere, even when they've fallen, even when they're gone. The houses don't look busy. Curtains are drawn. Windows glow softly. Inside, other people are probably finishing their evenings, washing dishes, turning pages in books, switching off lamps one by one, but none of it feels hurried. Nothing rushes you forward. The old man glances toward one of the houses. A faint smile touches his face. Not a memory exactly. Just recognition. As if he has walked this street many times before. You notice how your breathing has settled again. It matches your steps. Now. In. Step. Out. That. The rhythm is simple. The kind of rhythm your body understands without thinking. A small garden sits beside one of the porches. Empty. Soil for now. Waiting for another season. The fence around it leans slightly. Not broken. Just relaxed. Like it knows. There's no need to stand perfectly straight at this hour. You continue walking. A street lamp ahead casts a wide, golden circle on the pavement. When you step into it, your shadow stretches long behind you. For a moment, it feels like you are walking with two versions of yourself, the one beneath the light and the one trailing quietly behind. The old man steps into the light too. His white hair glows faintly under it. His cardigan looks softer there. He pauses for a second, looking down the rest of the street. Not searching. Just looking. You pause with him. The night air carries a faint scent of grass. Maybe someone watered their lawn earlier. Maybe the earth is simply cooling after the day. You realize something small. There is nothing on this street that needs solving. No questions hanging in the air. No unfinished conversations. Just houses. Trees. Sidewalk. Light. Step. Step. The sound of your shoes. Feel steady again. Your thoughts try to follow you. They start forming little lists. Little reminders. But Maple Street does not respond to lists. It does not care about tomorrow's tasks. It only holds this moment, this quiet stretch of pavement. A curtain shifts in one of the windows as you pass. Perhaps someone inside moves from one room to another. You don't look too closely. You let them have their quiet too. The old man's expression softens further. His eyes reflect the porch lights as you pass each one. Small golden dots in the dark. He walks at a pace that never strains, never pulls. A head. Never lags behind. You match it easily. The street begins to feel familiar, even if you've never walked it before. Some streets are like that. They feel known. Safe. Uncomplicated. You reach the end of Maple Street, where it curves gently to the right. The curve is soft, almost shy. As if the road doesn't want to make a sharp decision about where to go next. You stop there for a moment, not because you're tired, just because it feels natural to pause. The houses behind you look smaller now. Their lights dimmer at this distance, but still warm, still steady. The old man rests. His hands again in his pockets, his shoulders relaxed. He doesn't suggest turning back. He doesn't suggest continuing. He simply stands there with you. The breeze moves through the trees again. Leaves whisper overhead. You listen. Your thoughts are quieter. Now, not gone, just less insistent. They seem to be walking behind you instead of in front. You turn slowly, beginning the gentle walk back the way you came. The porch lights greet you again. One by one, nothing has changed, and somehow that feels comforting that your steps remain. Slow step, 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 the house with the warm window comes back into view. The light still glows inside. Faithful. Patient. The door waits quietly. And as you approach it, you begin to notice a faint golden glow farther down the street. A small corner store with its lights still on. You hadn't planned to go inside. You don't really need milk. You don't need bread. You don't need anything at all. But the soft yellow light spilling onto the sidewalk feels welcoming. So you drift toward it. The old man walks beside you. 70 years or more. Soft white hair resting gently against his collar. Warm cardigan buttoned halfway. His expression carries a mild curiosity. Not excitement. Just a quiet willingness to step inside. The glass door opens with a small bell. Sound. Not sharp. Just a single gentle ring. It doesn't echo. It simply lets the room know you've arrived. The air inside feels warmer than the street. A little thicker, like it has been sitting still for hours. The shelves stand in neat rows. Nothing fancy. Cans lined up carefully. Boxes stacked without hurry. A small refrigerator hums in the corner. Soft. Steady. The lights above do not glare. They glow. A little tired, perhaps, but still kind. You take a few slow steps forward. Your shoes make the faintest sound against the tiled floor. Tap, tap. The old man moves slowly. 2. His hands rest loosely at his sides now. He glances at the shelves as if greeting old friends. He isn't searching for anything specific. He simply looks. A row of canned soup catches your eye. The labels are slightly faded, comforting in their sameness. You imagine how many quiet evenings those cans have witnessed. Bought without ceremony, opened without urgency. Simple meals. Simple nights. The refrigerator hum continues. You notice how it blends with the faint buzz of the ceiling lights. Together, they create a soft layer of sound. Not silence, but something close to it. The kind of sound that doesn't interrupt your thoughts. It just sits beside them. The old man pauses near a wooden counter. His face carries a gentle half-smile. As if he remembers standing here long ago. Not for anything important. Just for a carton of milk. Just for a loaf of bread. Small errands at the end of long days. There is a comfort in ordinary places staying ordinary. The clock above the counter reads nearly closing time. Its hands move without hurry. You don't feel rushed. No one is pushing you toward the door. The store itself seems content to remain open a little longer. As if it understands that. Sometimes people step inside simply to feel enclosed by warm light. You walk down one aisle slowly. Your fingers brush lightly against a shelf. The cardboard edges feel slightly rough. Real. Solid. You notice a small basket near the register, filled with wrapped candies. Bright colors. Under soft lighting, you don't reach for one. You simply observe them. There is no need to make decisions tonight. The old man shifts his weight gently. His cardigan sleeve folds at the elbow. Dot his eyes move calmly from one shelf to another. He looks peaceful here. Dot almost at home. You realize something simple. This store does not ask you to solve your thoughts. Dot. It doesn't ask you to fix tomorrow. It doesn't demand that you be productive. Dot. It simply stands. Dot warm. Dot lit. Dot available. Dot the bell above the door is a tiny movement as a breeze slips through the frame, but no one else enters. The room remains yours for a moment longer. You glance toward the front window. Outside, Maple Street looks darker now. The porch lights softer. The sidewalks empty. Dot inside. Everything feels contained, safe within these four walls. The refrigerator hums. Again, the lights glow steadily. The clock inches forward. The old man gives a small nod, almost to himself, as if to say, this is enough. Enough light. Enough warmth. Enough quiet. You walk back toward the door, not because you must, just because it feels natural. The bell rings once more as you push it open. A single gentle sound, then stillness again. The cool night air greets you softly. You step onto the sidewalk. The store's light spills behind you now, stretching across the pavement. You turn for one last look. The shelves remain in their neat rows. The counter stands quietly. The clock continues its patient work. Nothing dramatic. Nothing urgent. Just a small place, holding a small amount of warmth, in the middle of a sleeping town. Asterisk, the old man stands beside you again. His white hair catches. The street lamps glow. His expression is calm, slightly reflective. He doesn't speak. He doesn't need to. You begin walking back down Maple Street. Step. The house with the glowing window waits ahead. The porch swing sits, faintly visible in the yard, now. Still. Patient. Rocking just slightly in the breeze, as if it has been waiting for you to sit. The porch swing moves gently in the breeze. Not far, just enough to remind you it's there. Back. And forward. Back. And forward. Asterisk, you step onto the wooden porch. The boards give a soft, familiar creak beneath your weight. They've carried many evenings before this one. They know how to be quiet about it. The old man stands beside the swing. 70 years or more. Soft white hair catching the warm porch light. His cardigan hangs loosely, sleeves resting at his wrists. His face carries a gentle, thoughtful expression. Not tired, not alert, just settled. The swing continues its small motion. Back. Forward. The chains make the faintest metal sound, a soft rhythm. You don't sit right away. You place a hand on the wooden armrest first. The wood feels cool from the night air, smooth in some places, worn in others, as if many hands have rested there. Asterisk, the old man lowers himself carefully onto one side. The swing dips slightly beneath his weight. He exhales slowly. A quiet breath. You sit beside him. The wood adjusts again, and then the swing finds its balance. Back. Forward. Back. Forward. The movement is small, almost shy, but steady. Your feet rest lightly against the porch floor. You give a gentle push. The swing responds without complaint. The night stretches around you. Maple Street is nearly silent now. The corner store lights have dimmed in the distance. Porch lights glow softly along the row of houses, each one holding its own quiet room inside. The swing continues. Back. Forward. You notice how the motion feels different from walking. Walking carries you somewhere. The swing carries you nowhere. It simply moves without Destination. Without purpose. The old man rests his hands loosely in his lap. His eyes look out toward the dark street. Kind eyes. Patient eyes. He doesn't rush the swing. He lets it decide its own pace. You feel your shoulders loosen a little more. The back and forth motion settles into your body. Your thoughts try to keep up at first. They bring small reminders, unfinished conversations. Tiny worries that seemed louder earlier. But the swing doesn't respond to those. It keeps its rhythm. Back. Forward. Back. Forward. The chains creak softly again. A familiar sound. Not sharp, not distracting, just present. You breathe in slowly. The air smells faintly of wood and cool grass. Somewhere, far off, a dog barks once, then quiet again. The old man tilts his head slightly. His expression softens further. There is something about a porch swing at night. It feels like it knows things, like it has listened to countless evenings unfold, like it understands restless minds. The movement grows just a touch slower now. Not because you stopped pushing, but because it chooses to. Everything slows eventually. The swing does not resist that. Back. Forward. You let your feet rest fully on the porch floor now. The motion becomes smaller. Gentler, almost like breathing. In. Out. Back. Forward. The porch light above casts a warm circle around you both. It doesn't reach the end of the yard. It doesn't need to. The darkness beyond the light feels soft. Not threatening, just distant. The old man shifts slightly. The swing answers with a faint wooden sigh. His cardigan sleeve brushes against yours. The contact is light. Unintentional. But steady. You realize something simple. There is no decision required. Here. No problem to solve. No next step to calculate. Only the slow arc of motion. Back. Forward. Back. Forward. Your thoughts begin to stretch out. Not disappearing. Just lengthening. Becoming less sharp. Less urgent. The swing carries them. With you. Not fighting them. Just moving through them. The breeze picks up for a moment. The swing responds with a slightly wider arc. Then settles again. The old man's eyes grow heavier. Not closed, just softer. He looks content to let the night continue without commentary. You feel the weight of the day slipping quietly from your shoulders. It doesn't fall away dramatically. It simply slides off in small pieces, one thought at a time. The porch boards creak gently beneath the steady motion. A familiar house sound, a sound that belongs to evenings like this. You notice how the sky above is darker. Now. Stars faint, but present. The air cooler against your cheeks. The swing slows. Again. Almost to stillness, but not quite. There is always a little movement left. Even when you think it has stopped. Back. Forward. Barely. Now. The old man gives the smallest nod. Not toward you. Not toward anything in particular. Just a quiet acknowledgement of the night. You let your head rest back against the swing. The wood supports you easily. You don't need to hold yourself upright so firmly anymore. The swing makes one more gentle arc. Then another, each one smaller than the last. Your breathing feels deep now. Even. Unhurried. The porch light hums faintly above. Inside the house, a clock continues its steady ticking. Somewhere beyond the door, the swing reaches a near stillness, a final soft motion. And as you sit there, wrapped in the slow rhythm of wood and chain and cool night air, you begin to feel the quiet drawing you inward, toward the warm kitchen light, just inside the door. The porch swing settles behind you. The chains rest. The wood grows still. You step quietly into the house. The door closes with a soft, wooden sound, not a click. More like a gentle sigh. The kitchen waits in a small pool of light. A single lamp glows near the sink. It isn't bright. It doesn't fill the whole room. It simply holds its place. The old man walks in beside you. 70 years or more. Soft white hair catching the lamplight. Warm cardigan slightly creased from sitting. His expression is calm. Little reflective. The kind of face that has seen many late kitchens. You pause near the table. The chair sits slightly pulled out. As if someone left it there earlier and never hurried to push it back. The refrigerator hums softly. A steady, low sound. It doesn't demand attention. It simply continues. You listen to it. There's comfort in that. It means the house is working, breathing in its own quiet way. The old man rests one hand on the back of a chair. His fingers curl loosely around the wood. He doesn't sit yet. He just stands there. You notice the faint smell of something simple. Maybe toast from earlier. Maybe tea. The scent lingers gently in the air. The clock from the living room ticks faintly in the distance. Not as clear as before. Just a soft reminder. Time is still moving. But it doesn't feel urgent here. The sink holds a single cup. Rinsed. Waiting to dry. You glance at it. There's no need to wash anything tonight. No. Tasks calling your name. The kitchen doesn't expect productivity at this hour. It understands. Late night wandering. You step closer to the counter. Your hand brushes the smooth surface. Cool beneath your palm. Solid. The refrigerator. Continues. Steady. Unbothered. The old man moves slowly to the small window above the sink. He looks out into the dark yard. Not searching for anything. Just observing. His kind eyes reflect the lamp's glow. He seems content to stand there. You feel the quiet wrapping gently around your shoulders. The kind of quiet that doesn't press. It simply settles. The house creaks once. A soft settling sound. Wood adjusting to the cooler night air. You breathe in slowly. The air feels warmer inside than it did on the porch. Safer. Somehow. Contained. The old man turns slightly. His cardigan sleeve shifts with the movement. His expression softens further. There is something peaceful about a kitchen after everyone is asleep. No clatter of dishes. No running water. No conversation. Just stillness. The refrigerator. The distant ticking. Your breathing. You pull the chair back. Just a little more. The legs scrape softly against the floor. Not loud. Just enough to remind you the room is real. You sit down. The chair supports you easily. Your arms rest on the table. Surface feels smooth. Beneath them, you don't lean forward. You don't lean back. You simply sit. The old man remains standing for a moment longer. Then he lowers himself into the chair across from you. Carefully. Unhurried. The lamp casts a warm circle between you. It doesn't reach the corners of the room. And that's all right. The corners don't need attention tonight. Your thoughts drift through your mind. Slower. Now. Less crowded. They don't line up in lists anymore. They move gently, like dust floating in lamplight. The refrigerator. Hum fills the space between those thoughts. Steady. Reliable. You realize something small. This kitchen has held many quiet nights before this one. Nights when someone couldn't sleep. Nights when someone needed a glass of water. Nights When someone simply stood in the glow of a single lamp, it doesn't judge those nights, it holds them quietly. The old man folds, his hands loosely on the table, his eyes lower slightly, not closed, just resting. You notice how your body feels heavier. Now, not weighed down, just ready to settle, The clock ticks again from the other room, faint, gentle, the refrigerator continues, nothing changes. Nothing needs to. The house is breathing around you. Wood, air, light, you let your shoulders drop a little more. Your jaw relaxes. The thoughts that once felt loud now seem distant, softened by warm light and steady sound. The old man gives the smallest nod, as if to say, this is enough for tonight, enough light. Enough quiet, enough standing. The lamp glows patiently. The kitchen holds its gentle stillness, and as you sit there, listening to the quiet hum of the refrigerator and the faint ticking beyond the doorway, you begin to feel drawn toward something, even softer, toward a drawer in the next room that hasn't been opened in quite some time. You stand slowly from the kitchen table. The chair makes a soft sound against the floor, not loud, just present. The old man rises, too, 70 years or more, soft white hair, catching the hallway light, warm cardigan resting easily on his shoulders. His expression grows slightly more thoughtful now. Not heavy, just reflective. You walk into the next room, the lamp here is smaller. Its glow is softer. The shadows rest gently along the walls. There is a wooden desk near the window, simple, warm. Smooth in places, the drawer sits closed. Asterisk unremarkable. Almost shy, You step closer, your fingers hover over the small brass handle, cool to the touch. You pause, not because you are unsure, just because there is no hurry. The house remains quiet behind you. The refrigerator hum faint in the distance, the clock ticking steadily somewhere beyond. The old man stands beside you, kind, eyes watching the drawer, not urging, not stopping, simply present. You pull the drawer open slowly, it slides with a soft wooden whisper. Inside are envelopes, stacked carefully, edges soft with time, some tied loosely with string, others resting freely. Asterisk, you don't pick one up right away. You just look. There is something calming about paper that has waited patiently. Letters do not demand attention once they are written. They simply exist. The old man lowers himself into the chair by the desk. His movements are careful, asterisk familiar, as if he has sat here many evenings before. You reach in and lift one. Envelope gently, it feels light in your hand, almost fragile. The paper is slightly worn at the corners. You don't open it. You don't need to read the words tonight. It is enough to know they are there. Words written slowly, folded thoughtfully, kept without urgency. You place the envelope. Back down. Your fingers brush the others. Each one carries a small weight. Not heavy. Just real. The lamp casts a warm circle over the desk. The rest of the room fades into soft shadow. The old man rests his hands loosely on his lap. His expression is tender. Now, not sad, just aware. Memories can be loud. Sometimes, but tonight they feel quiet, contained inside folded paper. You lift another letter. The paper makes a faint sound as it shifts. A small, dry whisper. You imagine the moment it was written. A table somewhere. Pen moving slowly. Careful lines, simple sentences, nothing dramatic. Just someone speaking through. Paper. You set it down again. You are not here to relive. You are not here to analyze. You are just noticing. The drawer holds many small pieces of time, and yet it does not feel crowded. There is space between the envelopes, space between the years. You breathe in gently. The air smells faintly of wood and old paper, comforting in a quiet way. The clock ticks again from the other room. Steady. Unchanged. The old man's white hair glows softly under the lamp. His eyes lower slightly, as if remembering without needing details. You realize something simple. Memories do not have to be open to be felt. They can rest, just as they are. Folded. Safe. You slide your hand across the top of the stack. Smoothing them gently, not pressing, just acknowledging. The drawer does not feel heavy anymore. It feels subtle. Like the porch swing after it slows, like the kitchen after everyone sleeps. You begin placing the envelopes back into their quiet order, one by one. Carefully. There is no rush to close the drawer. You leave it open for a moment longer. The lamp hums faintly above. The night outside the window remains still. Your thoughts drift slowly now, not circling, not pushing. Just floating past like dust in warm light. The old man gives the smallest nod. His expression calm, grateful perhaps, not for any specific letter, just for the quiet presence of them. You push the drawer closed gently. It slides back into place without resistance. The brass handle cool beneath your fingers once more. Nothing dramatic happened here. No sudden emotion. No overwhelming memory. Just paper resting in wood, and you standing quietly beside it. The lamp continues to glow. The clock continues to tick. The house continues to breathe. You feel lighter now, not because something was solved, but because nothing needed to be. The old man rises slowly from the chair. His cardigan shifts softly with the movement. He looks toward the doorway, toward the darker part of the house. You follow his gaze. The air feels cooler as you step away from the desk. The drawer remains closed. Content. And as you walk toward the back of the house, you begin to notice the faint sound of night air moving gently through the screen door, waiting for you to stand and listen. You walk toward the back of the house. The hallway grows dimmer. The lamplight from the desk fades gently behind you. Ahead, the faint outline of the screen door becomes clearer. It moves slightly, just a small shift. A soft wooden frame meeting the breeze. The old man steps beside you. 70 years or more. Soft white hair touched by the last bit of warm light from inside. His cardigan rests comfortably on his shoulders. His expression is peaceful, now. Almost expectant. You reach the door. Your hand rests lightly against the frame. The screen feels cool beneath your fingers. The latch gives a quiet sound as you ease it, open just a little more. The night air slips inside immediately. Not rushing. Just entering. Cool. Against your cheeks. Fresh. Carrying the faint scent of grass and distant trees. You don't step outside. You simply stand there. Half in, half out. The old man stands beside you. His kind eyes look into the dark yard. Not searching for anything. Just noticing. The backyard is simple. A small stretch of grass. A fence barely visible in the shadows. Beyond that, more quiet houses. More sleeping rooms. Crickets begin their steady rhythm. Soft. Layered. Almost like a distant chorus. They do not sing loudly. They do not compete. They simply continue. The breeze moves again. The screen door shifts slightly on its hinges. A gentle creak, then stillness. You breathe in slowly. The cool air fills your lungs more easily than the warm kitchen air did. It feels clean. Open. The old man closes his eyes for a moment. Not long, just enough to feel the breeze against his face. His expression softens even more. There is something about night air. It doesn't carry the weight of daytime. It carries space. You lean slightly against the doorframe. The wood supports you without effort. The crickets continue. Steady, unhurried. Your thoughts drift through your mind again, but they seem smaller, now. Less crowded. They don't echo in the open air. They dissolve gently. The fence at the edge of the yard stands quiet and still. No movement beyond it. No headlights passing. No distant voices. Just layers of night. The old man opens his eyes again. He gives a small nod toward the sky. You look up. Only a few stars are visible. Faint. Scattered. The moon rests low somewhere out of view, casting a soft silver tone over the yard. You notice how your body feels now. Heavy in a comfortable way. Your feet grounded. Your shoulders relaxed. Your breathing even. The screen door shifts again with the breeze. Soft tap. Not sharp. Just present. You let it move. You don't close it. You don't hold it still. You allow the air to come and go. In and out. The crickets keep their rhythm, almost like the old clock, but softer, more natural. You realize something simple. The night does not need you to quiet your mind. It quiets itself, and you simply stand within it. The old man rests, one hand lightly against the frame. His cardigan sleeve moves gently in the breeze. He looks content, not sleepy. Just settled. You stay there longer than you planned, but you hadn't planned anything tonight. The yard remains unchanged. The fence steady. The grass unmoving except for the light touch of air. Your thoughts slow further. They no longer line up in order. They drift loosely, like leaves that have already fallen. The breeze grows slightly cooler. You feel it across your neck, across your hands. It doesn't chill you. Simply reminds you that the world is still turning quietly. The old man exhales slowly, a soft breath, barely audible. The crickets fill the space between that breath and yours. The screen door rests gently against its frame. Now. Almost still. The house behind you glows faintly. Warm lamplight reaching just to the threshold. Inside feels safe. Outside feels open. You stand between both. And neither asks anything from you. The night stretches wider. The sounds grow softer. Even the crickets seem to settle into a calmer rhythm. Your eyelids feel heavier now. Not forced. Just natural. Like the body recognizing that it has nothing left to hold up. The old man gives one last quiet glance into the yard. Then he steps back slightly. Not leaving the doorway. Just shifting inward. You remain there a moment. Longer. Feeling the last touch of cool air against your face. And as you gently let the screen door fall closed with a soft wooden tap, you begin to notice the warm lamplight inside glowing a little dimmer than before, as if it too is ready to rest. You step fully back into the house. The screen door closes with a gentle wooden tap behind you. The cool air remains only as a faint memory against your skin. Inside, the living room waits quietly. The lamp beside the chair still glows, but softer. Now. Not weaker, just calmer. The old man walks slowly toward his chair. 70 years or more. Soft white hair touched by the fading light. Warm cardigan slightly wrinkled at the elbows. His expression is gentle, sleepy, perhaps, but peaceful. You follow him without speaking. Your footsteps are slow. Careful. The clock on the wall continues. Its steady ticking. Tick. 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 It sounds farther away now. As if wrapped in softer air. The old man lowers himself into the armchair. The cushion gives beneath him a quiet sigh of fabric and wood. He rests his hands on the arms of the chair. Relaxed. Open. The lamp beside him casts a smaller circle of light than before. Shadows stretch longer along the walls. They don't feel dark. Just stretch. You sit in the chair across from him. The room feels different now. Not because anything has changed, but because you have. Your shoulders sink naturally into the cushion. Your breathing is slow. Even. The ticking continues. But it no longer feels like something to follow. It simply exists. The old man glances toward the lamp. Its shade glows softly. A warm yellow fading gently at the edges. He reaches out and turns the knob slightly. Just a small movement. The light lowers another degree. The room softens. Nothing disappears. It only grows quieter. You notice how your thoughts respond. They do not rise to protest. They do not ask for one more review. They drift, like boats untied from a dock. The old man leans his head back slightly. His kind eyes close halfway. Asterisk. Not fully asleep, just resting in the dim light. The clock ticks on. Steady. Patient. Outside. The town is fully quiet. Now. No cars passing. No doors closing. Just layers of stillness. The lamp hums faintly, almost imperceptible. The old man's cardigan catches the low light, its fabric warm and familiar. You realize something simple. There is nothing left to tend to tonight. The porch swing is still. The kitchen lamp is off. The drawer of letters remains closed. The screen door rests quietly in its frame. Everything has found its place. You shift slightly in your chair. The cushion responds softly. Your hands rest loosely in your lap. Your jaw unclenches without effort. Asterisk. The clock continues. Tick. 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 Each second feels less important. Now. Not because time has stopped, but because you no longer need to manage it. The old man opens his eyes just enough to look at you. There is no instruction in that look. No lesson. Only warmth. A shared understanding of quiet. He reaches again for the lamp. This time, he lowers it just a little more. The glow becomes softer still. Edges blur. Shadows blend. The room feels wrapped. Safe. Your eyelids grow heavier. Not forced. Not sudden. Just natural. The ticking becomes distant. The hum of the lamp fades into the background. Even your thoughts seem to lie down. The old man's breathing is slow now. Deep. Even. His white hair rests gently against the chair. His cardigan sleeve hangs loosely at his wrist. He looks at peace. The lamp glows faintly beside him. Almost at its lowest setting. You feel yourself drifting. Not falling. Just easing downward into softness. The house holds you. The chair supports you. The night stretches quietly beyond the walls. The clock ticks once more. Then again. You don't to count them anymore. You don't need to. The old man reaches for the lamp. One final time. His fingers turn the knob slowly. The light dims to its smallest glow. barely there, just enough to remind you that warmth exists. And as the room settles into that final soft light, and your breathing matches the steady rhythm of the quiet house, you begin to feel the last gentle edge of wakefulness loosen, as if sleep has been sitting patiently beside you all along.